Hello viewers, welcome to Nursing Tutorials with Jamila. Today we are going to be looking at the germinal stage of human development. Now the germinal stage of human development, it begins with fertilization in the fallopian tube and it ends with implantation in the endometrium of the uterus. The germinal stage of development is the first and it is also the shortest of the stages of the human development. It lasts a total of 8 to 9 days. It begins in the fallopian tube when the ovum is fertilized by the sperm to form a zygote. The germinal stage continues as the zygote undergoes several initial stages of cell division to form a group of cells called the morula. It then continues as the morula undergoes additional changes to become the blastocyst. The germinal stage ends when the blastocyst is implanted in the endometrium of the uterus. Now, after the implantation has occurred, the blastocyst is called an embryo and it will obtain nutrients from the mother's blood via the placenta. Now, in the germinal stage, nutrient must be obtained from cell cytoplasm or secretion in the fallopian tube or the uterus itself. So let's see, the germinal stage involves several different processes that change the ovum and the sperm first into a zygote and then into an embryo. Yes. Then the processes include fertilization, cleavage, blastulation, and implantation. So we are going to look at these processes, that is the fertilization, the cleavage, the blastulation, and the implantation. Now for the fertilization, we know that many sperm cell is released during ejaculation and it travels towards the due to chemical attractions. However, only one of these sperm will succeed in fertilizing the egg. And it does that by penetrating its cell membrane and it deposits the genetic material into the egg where the two nuclei fuse. That is that of the ovum and that of the sperm. The fertilized ovum immediately becomes resistant to penetration by any other sperm arriving later. After fertilization has occurred, the zygote remains in the fallopian tube for about 72 hours, and then during this time it develops rapidly. The development occurs very fast. That is through the process of cleavage. Now, cleavage is the second process of the germinal stage. It is the second process. It occurs after fertilization has taken place. Now, by the second day after fertilization, the single cell zygote undergoes a process of cell division, that is mitosis, to form two daughter cells, from two daughter cells to four daughter cells, from four we have 8, from 8 the division continues, and by about 60 hours after fertilization we have a group of cells formed, about 16 in number, that is the morula. Although the cleavage results in more cells, the overall mass of the cell making up the morula is still the same. It's the same size as the initial zygote because the cells are confined within the zona pellucida. Now, a large amount of cytoplasm in the original zygote becomes subdivided among the multiple cells of the morula, and that's actually what happened in the cleavage. Yeah. So let's look at the blastulation. Now, blastulation is the process of changing the morula into a blastocyst. It usually occurs from roughly day 5 to day 7 after fertilization. And then during this blastulation, the morula changes from that solid ball of undifferentiated cell into a fluidful ball of differentiated cells. Now, The major parts of the fully formed blastocyst are the embryoblast, the trophoblast, and the blastocele. Okay, now the embryoblast is the inner cell mass, and these cells will eventually develop into the embryo. Then the trophoblast is the outer cell layer of the blastocyst, and these trophoblast cells will implant in the uterus, and then they eventually develop into the placenta and then other embryonic tissues. The blastocyst is a cavity formed by the migration of the embryoblast cells to one pole of the blastocyst. Then the blastocele fill with fluid secreted by the trophoblast cell. So this is what happened during the blastulation. Then let's look at implantation. How does the blastocyst implant itself into the endometrium of the uterus? Now, the blastocyst digests the uterine mucosa, and then eventually the endometrium grows over the embryo. The embryo continues to grow until delivery. So around day 8 or day 9 after fertilization, the implantation begins. And then the implantation is usually the process in which the blastocysts become embedded in the endometrium of the uterus. It is usually triggered by contact between the blastocyst and the endometrium. So in response to this contact, the trophoblast cells start to proliferate. And then the trophoblast cells start secreting enzymes that digest the mucosa covering the endometrium. And then these changes allow the finger-like projections, that is the villi of the trophoblast, they penetrate into the endometrium. So the projections now pull the blastocyst, which is now called an embryo, into the endometrium until it is fully covered by the endometrial epithelium. So this is what happened in the germinal stage of human development. Thank you very much. Please send your comments so we can know which topic you would like to know more about. If you like this content, please remember to hit that like button and subscribe. Thank you.